Hello and welcome to vlog number 13. This is the next instalment in a series of short vlogs where I have been documenting the progress of the making of my forthcoming album Freedom, which incidentally is out on October the 1st. I'm actually going to call this episode When Plans Go Awry, Changing Tack. And I'm going to use a format that I've used in a previous vlog, which is to answer a handful of questions that I have actually been asked. So I'm just going to answer them directly, and I may even be reading out the answers. To save valuable time, I'm not going to rattle on about where things are at with the album prior to release. Instead of that, I'm going to write that down underneath this post. So for all of the up-to-date information and news about the release of the album and what's going on between now and then, please just look underneath this post. So, when plans go awry, changing tack. This is about mastering your circumstances and how I've dealt with obstacles that have got in my way when things haven't quite gone according to plan. And the most recent thing has been that I decided to cancel the live launch for this album, Freedom. It was a very, very hard decision for me to make, but personally I felt it was quite a bold one because normally I would push through things, but I had a bit of a knock-on effect health-wise from COVID that I had in June and one or two other health issues going on. And I just felt that it would be putting too much pressure on me, on myself, with all the promo and all the things that are involved in putting on a big show, which this was going to be, with a big band and so on. Very disappointing that I can't strap my stuff, but that can happen at a later stage. The important thing for me is my health. And anybody who knows me, and I think most people would relate to the fact that health has to come first. Those people who know me, are closest to me, whether they're friends or confidants or health practitioners, were not only supportive but actually quite relieved. So the album will still come out on October the 1st, and there's going to be an awful lot of things going on around about that leading up to it and beyond the release, which will be really exciting. And this decision has actually given birth to my next project, which will flow very naturally off the back of Freedom. So wait and see, watch this space for that. Somebody asked me how I was affected by the pandemic. Well, I had actually lined up a tour to show the art, to perform the music and to do book readings from The Window to My Soul in the spring of 2020. And I just got that off the ground in Kent and the pandemic hit. So the London and Brighton Fringe venues, the London and Brighton Fringe events and exhibitions all had to be cancelled, which was a great shame. But what I immediately did, and this was before Zoom existed, I actually went online. So I posted something every day for 37 days, basically until that particular tour that I had planned would have finished. So it's all on YouTube and IGTV and various places where I share the music, the art. There are book readings, poetry readings from friends around the world. There are amazing interviews with some wonderful people who gave of their time voluntarily. So basically I had to make a decision to do something pretty swiftly with that, and that's what I did. And I had great fun doing it. It expanded my own creativity and I reached an awful lot of people as a result. I had some obstacles with the physical products and the merch for The Window to My Soul. What were they? So with album number 2, the CDs arrived. The white covers were not quite white, all right. So basically I had to get a local printer to reprint those. I had to buy jewel cases. I had to make them up myself. hours of work went into the accompanying book and getting that printed. When it had been printed, we found some little copyright issues that had passed us by. So to avoid the huge cost of getting those reprinted, I basically turned those errors into art. And there's a Japanese term called kintsugi, which is basically covering up the cracks with gold leaf. And out of that evolved the exhibition, the other works of art where gold leaf was a key feature. So that was unexpected, and it was a very exciting thing that happened. Similarly, I came to songwriting unexpectedly. Having started to perform age 50, 2 years later, I was told I had ME, so I had to stop performing. But I started writing through journaling, which turned into poetry, song lyrics, and a few years later, my first album of self-penned songs was released. So that was very unexpected. That evolved over a period of time, unlike some of the other examples I've quoted where I had to make a decision pretty quickly and turn something around. So those are just some of the ways I've dealt with obstacles that have been presented to me, and I'm sure when that happens to you, you'll come up with creative ways of overcoming them. Thank you very much for tuning in to this vlog. Do check out what's going on with the run-up to the release of Freedom, and I'll hope to see you next time. Lots of love. Bye-bye.